Hello, welcome to Yoga with Dagny. Today we're going to do a practice that's going to benefit our kidneys and bladder, because I've definitely been feeling a little something going on down there, so I thought it would be a good idea to work with that today and see if it helps. It usually does. So our kidney and bladder meridians dominate our back body, our bladder meridian does. So it's a lot of forward folding that's going to help open that up. And the inner posterior leg is where the kidney channel is. So the forward folding helps with that too. So let's just begin by finding a seat. A comfortable seat. We'll begin in Dandasana just for a moment and just stretch those hamstrings out. See if you can sit up straight and just land in this moment, in your body, in your practice, connecting with the breath, finding an inhalation through your nose and an exhalation through your nose, and continuing with that breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we'll begin by finding easy pose by taking your left leg out to the side, putting that left foot under the right knee, and reaching the opposite foot under the opposite knee. So easy pose, Sukhasana. We're really reaching our heels as far as we can under the knees, and then finding your sitting bones. Sometimes it helps to move the flesh away. There's a good point for the bladder meridian right there at the sitting bones. So connecting right to the earth through those sitting bones. And even your pubic bone, sending the pubic bone down as well, sending your thighs down toward the earth. And from all of that, even the edges of my feet are pressing down. So from this downward action of my base, I'm feeling a nice lift up through my spine. And I'm seeing if I can connect all the way up to heaven through the crown of my head, landing here in my seat in this moment. And then I'm just going to take my hands to my heart, connecting to that place inside of myself that knows how to be present and here in the moment. That part of myself that remembers joy and gratitude. And lifting my heart up, I'm just going to gently bow my head to my heart. And let's all just take a moment to think of something that we're grateful for right here, right now. And then when you're ready, inhale and just lift your head up, let the eyes open, and we'll exhale and we'll release the arms down. Changing the cross of the legs, take the one that was behind in front, and then we're just going to do a simple forward bend here. So I'm going to put my fingers out in front of me like spider fingers. I'm going to lift my heart and chest, and I'm just going to creep forward. So if it's hard to reach the ground here, you could have a chair out in front of you that could help you move forward. You could put a block out in front of you to help you come forward. But just keeping the chest lifted and open, just come forward with a little breath. Beginning our forward folding practice. With our breath today, since we're working with kidney and bladder, one of the major things connected to kidney and bladder is fear. That's the emotion there. So let's just breathe in love to ourselves, breathe in trust to the universe with the inhalation. And on the exhale, surrendering fear. Breathing in love and trust. And exhale, just surrendering forward. And then we can inhale and we'll come back up. Nice. And let's just take Upavista for a minute. Kidney, like I said, goes up this inner leg. So just sitting in a nice wide angle pose for a moment. Trying to get your sitting bones down, your pubis down, your thighs down, and your chest lifting up. Take a deep breath in. Spider fingers out in front of you again. And let's just exhale forward. See if you can let your toes float straight up toward the ceiling. Again, using that breath, inhaling right into your lower back if you can, where the kidneys reside. And exhaling forward any amount. Oh yes, that is good. All of this forward folding is not only good for the kidney and bladder, but also for the nervous system, which is very tied to anxiety and restlessness. So as we're breathing, we're surrendering, we're calming our nervous system. And then inhaling to come back up. And then exhaling Baddha Konasana, bending one leg in and then the other, bottoms of the feet together. Rocking back and forth as you walk those sitting bones and work the points on those sitting bones, coming towards your heels. Good. This always reminds me of that little toy when I was born, down back in the early 70s, the Weebles Wobble. The Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So kind of like a Weeble here. And bringing that rocking to stillness, we'll inhale and then we'll exhale, we'll come forward. Tips of the elbows reaching toward the top of the mat. Soften through the lower back. There's a softening and a lengthening happening in your lower back as you breathe, as you surrender. Good, and then we'll inhale and we'll come back up and then legs together, stretch them straight out for Hashimoto, forward fold. So we're gonna inhale, let's sweep those arms out and up. And exhale, just come forward. You're reaching toward the toes. You may find them, you may find your shins or your ankles. Anyway, just get hold of something. Inhale, lift the heart and chest, and exhale, surrender yourself forward. If you can keep your thighs and your knees and your calves down on the earth, keep the back of your neck long and soft as you breathe. Good. And then we'll inhale up, and let's just take the left leg out to the side for a moment. And we're going to come forward over the extended leg. So deep inhalation again. Exhale, reach forward. And inhale, lengthening. And exhale, surrendering forward. Belly button is just gently creeping down that thigh if it can. Continuing with your breath throughout your practice, taking in that which you need today, maybe a calmness or a surrender, letting go of what no longer serves you, letting the breath just carry it away. And then inhaling to come on up, exhale, release that leg and opposite side, up and out. Heel right up in the perineum. Sometimes when I do this, I like to inhale up, inhale up with my right hand and really reach for the outside edge of that extended leg and then bring the other one over to the opposite ankle. Inhale, get nice and long and strong. Exhale, just come forward. Feel as if your heart is moving across the room, your belly button is creeping down the extended thigh. And your toes are going straight up. They're soft and relaxed. You're balanced on the very center of your heel if you can be. And your neck is free. Good, and then we'll inhale and come on up. And we'll exhale and we'll release that. Good. So let's just do a little cat-cow because that's so good for the spine. I'll show it from the side. Knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. Inhaling, lifting your chin, lifting your tail, letting your belly drop, exaggerating the curve of your spine. And then exhale, carving the tail under, arching the back, dropping the chin. Join this with your breath as you inhale, you come into cow. As you exhale, you come into cat. Find your own rhythm here for a moment. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. One more cycle. Deep breath in. And exhale. Carve that belly up, drop that chin and chest. Good. And then coming to tabletop neutral pose, widen the knees and take your buttocks back to your heels. Extend your arms forward. And if you can just relax your third eye right between your eyebrows, right down to the mat. And just let go. Nice stretch for the lower back here. Sometimes I gently rock my hips from side to side here as I rest. And breathe, and that feels so good. And if you can breathe right into the lower back here, breathe right into your lower back, right where the kidneys are, at the waist. Good, and then let's inhale up onto all fours. Knees come just behind the hips, parallel to the hips. Curl your toes under, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Come into that downward facing dog here for a minute, where you're in an upside down V of epic proportions. It's like you're being suspended from heaven, right from the top of your hips. They're lifting higher. You're reaching from your sitting bones to your heels, descending the heels down as the hips lift up, and breathing. And then inhaling, looking up between those hands, gently walking forward till you find your feet beneath your hips. And then press your feet into the ground. And just hang here for a minute. Try to hang a little loosely here. Let go. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale. We're going to reverse swan dive. Just as you inhale, sweep your arms out and up. As you stand up nice and straight. Arms all the way up to heaven. And then exhale them back to your heart. Good. Excellent. And now from here, we're just going to do a little tapping of our kidneys, bringing in the vital energy to the kidney area, which is right here. So maybe first rub that area a little bit, just briskly rubbing that area, giving it some love, some kidney love. This kidneys also in Chinese medicine, they're the minister of health, and they store our will and they store our vital energy. So we want them to be strong and warm in the winter. So just rubbing those kidneys, it just feels good just to do that for ourselves. And then once you've rubbed them a little bit, just release your arms. Stand with your feet hip width apart, maybe even slightly more. And then we're just going to start to swing ourselves, and we're going to tap at the waist, at the kidney area. At the tip of the 12th rib here is a beautiful kidney point. It's the kidney mu point. So if there's something going on acutely with your kidney, it's nice to stimulate that point. So you're just letting go. You're breathing. Yeah, and sometimes when I'm doing this exercise, I'll make the sound that helps to heal the kidney and the bladder. And it's sort of like the sound of the ocean. It's oceanic sound. It's kind of like, I think of the spelling, I've seen it sort of like CHOOOOOO. So it's kind of like, so we'll do that a few times. Big breath in. Good, and one more big breath like that. Nice, and then bringing that into stillness and just feeling the effects of that energy waking up in your body. Very nice. Good. So I'm just finding mountain pose now for a moment. So your feet are going to be hip width apart. Take a minute to ground yourself. Stretch your toes forward. Lift them up. Spread them out. Anchor them to the earth. And then stretch your heels back. So you're making your feet long. And then from the center line of your feet, also spread them broad. So they're broadening. And you can feel the inner edge of your feet. You can feel the outer edge of your feet. And you're connecting strongly down to the earth. This is mountain pose. From there, we're lifting up energetically on your kneecaps and up on your hip points and up in your sternum. And you're broadening through the heart and chest. And then letting the energy go down through the fingertips as well. And the back of the neck lengthens upward, the crown of the head lengthens upward. So as you're rooting down to the earth, you're rising up. And you're making space between your vertebrae and you're broadening. Beautiful. And then let's just bring the arms out to the side, roll the palms open. So it's almost like you're even rolling your thumbs back. And then we're going to inhale up to Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing mountain. And root down through the feet and rise up through the hands and soften the shoulders and breathe. Good. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Pretend you're diving into your beautiful life. Oh yeah, dive down. Your knees can soften, your neck can soften, everything can soften. Good, and then hands on your shins. Inhale and stretch your spine forward, nice and long. And then exhale, fully forward bend again. Releasing your head. Inhale, hands to shins, stretch forward. Again. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Hands to shins. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Good, and then pressing into your feet. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up. Stretch up to heaven. Exhale, hands right back to the heart. Already I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Excellent. So next I'm going to take my chair. Hopefully you have a chair at home. If not, you can pause your video and find one. And I'm going to do a little forward folding onto my chair. First, I'm going to do a doggy on the chair because that just feels good. So with dog on the chair, you just want your hands on the edges of the chair. Step back a little ways, like about where I am here. And then you're going to kind of energetically with your knuckles press the chair forward. I might need to come back a little bit more. You want your heels beneath your hips. And you want to make this long straight line again from your hands to your hips and from your hips to your heels. Again, it's like that V formation. And you're just breathing, you're just stretching. You're just being here now. Good, big breaths. Oh, yes. Good. And then inhale and look up at your chair. And then exhale, just slowly walk forward to your chair. Good. Excellent. So next I'm going to bring my feet hip-width apart, and I'm going to come so that my hands are right beneath my shoulders. My feet are beneath my hip. I'm going to come nice and long like so. And then on my exhale, I'm just going to bend my elbows back, and I'm going to see if I can place the crown of my head on my chair. If it's too hard, you can put a little blankie down. But what this posture does is it relaxes us. And plus we're getting the forward fold for the hamstrings. I'm releasing my shoulders. I'm letting my head relax as much as I can. And I'm just going to take 3 big breaths in this nice little forward fold. Good, and then I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to bring myself up, to my forearms and rest there for a moment. And then up to the hands, straighten my spine and rest there for a moment. And then I'm going to press into my feet, hands to the hips, and inhale to come on up. Good. And just roll your shoulders out a couple times. Excellent. So next, I'm going to do another little posture. It looks like it's getting a little sunny here. Let me bring this down. See a little better. All right, so let me just bring that down a little more. Very beautiful, but very sunny. All right, so we're going to step or hop our feet apart. So inhale, exhale, step or hop your feet apart. And widen. Good. And so now when I'm in this position, which you can't really see my feet, so I'm gonna bring it down so you can see my feet a little bit better. All right, so here I was, I hopped apart. You want your feet facing straight forward, maybe even slightly in. When we turn them slightly in, it's going to actually activate that kidney channel for us a little bit. Your chair is conveniently in front of you. We're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to exhale, and we're going to come forward again. And I'm just going to come so that my hands are right on my shoulders. You might go wider if it's comfortable to go wider. It depends on your comfort level. From here, we're going to come onto the forearms, and we're just going to get comfortable hanging out there for a minute. So I'm grounding through the edges of my feet. My elbows are beneath my shoulders. My breastbone is going forward. My tops of my thighs are moving back. I'm nice and long and strong here. And I'll take a big breath in again. And on the exhale, I'm just going to take my hands down to the chair legs. And then I'm just going to rest my forehead here. And just rest in this forward fold again. Now, if you have further flexibility within you, you can push your chair forward a little bit. And you can actually bring your head down toward the earth. If you have a yoga block, you could put your head on your yoga block, or you could just kind of reach the head down toward the earth. And just breathe here for a minute. It's nice to keep your hands facing forward if you come down, your palms beneath your elbows in line with your shoulders, and then slowly walk your hands back forward. Maybe come onto the chair and take a little stretch. This is another nice variation, is when you can just bring your arms on the chair and let your head go like this. This is a very restful variation where your forehead just rests on the edge of the chair. This is so good for anxiety. It's good to change your perspective. Sometimes we need to. And all the while I'm taking big breaths into my lower belly where my bladder is, big breaths into my lower back where my kidneys are. Calming my nervous system, coming into presence, and then creeping my way up. I'm going to heel toe in a little bit to a reasonable distance for myself, and then I'll come on up, and then I'm going to bring my feet together. Good. So that was another nice, very good stretch for anxiety and restlessness. So now we're just going to do a little more forward folding. We're going to come and we're going to stand. Actually, I had that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have moved that. We're going to stand at our chair here. My toes are just ever so slightly beneath the lip of my front lip of my chair. And I'm going to take a big step back with my left leg. Good. And then I'm going to bring my torso forward. I'm just going to bring myself back so you can see me a little better. So I'm going to bring my torso forward. And then I'm going to just come forward with a long, straight spine. And I'm going to bring my hands to the chair. So my chair is at the proper distance so that my hands can be beneath my shoulders. I have my right foot forward and my left foot back. My hips are facing forward. My back toes are turned out just a little bit. I have a nice wide stance, like maybe 3 feet, 2.5, 3 feet. I'm going to inhale, lift my spine. On my exhale, I'm going to come forward by bending my elbows back and maybe come onto my forearms. And this may be plenty of a stretch for you, in which case you just hang out there. Otherwise, you might decide to bring your hands down the chair, legs, keeping the spine long. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, come and bring your head to rest on your chair again. And just let go here. Good, and then we're going to inhale, we'll creep our hands back up, make the spine nice and long. Press into your feet, hands to the hips. Come on up. Good. And then step forward with the left one and back with the right one. Nice wide stance. Roll the hips to face forward. Bring your elbows back. Deep breath in. Lift your heart, lift your chest, lift your chin. On the exhale, ground through the back edge of that back foot as you come forward with a long, straight spine. Sometimes I like to reach for the chair back and push it forward, tipping the chair a little bit. It's a little dangerous, but not really. And just stretch that out. Grow long, grow strong. Feels good on the shoulders too. And then releasing the chair back, come onto those forearms if it's comfortable. You may still be up here, and that's fine. Because we're opening up those hamstrings, we're breathing, we're lengthening, and we're strengthening. Deep breath in. If you have it in you to go down with the hands to the bottom of the chair, legs, and release the head, please do. Otherwise, be with the beautiful body you brought here today, right where it is now. Listening to it, honoring it, breathing. Good, and then inhale, let's come back up, let's get long again. Let's lengthen ourselves, and then pressing into the feet, hands to the hips. Inhale, come on up. Good, and then exhale, we're gonna step forward. Very nice. All right, so then I'm just gonna move this chair aside, and I'm just gonna come back here onto our mat, and let's just, I think we'll do a little work with triangle pose. We haven't done that in a while, so let's just do that, because that really gets the inner thigh where kidney is pretty well. Let's inhale, and then let's step or jump our feet apart. Good. And then trying to get the palms over your ankles if you can. We're going to turn our right foot in and roll the left foot out. Lift the heart and chest. And then thinking about your front hip moving towards your back hip and your back hip moving towards your front hip. Come out so that your side body is coming right out over that front leg. And then placing your hand on your shin or a block if you have one. Sometimes I like to rest the other one right on my hip for a minute and just get into this stretch where I come into my feet, I breathe, and when I'm ready, I'll stretch my arm up. Really trying to stay long in the underside, this left underside of my body out over that leg. Nice, beautiful stretch. Then pressing into the feet, I'm going to inhale, I'm going to come up. Then I'm going to turn those left toes in a little bit extra and roll my right foot out right from the top of my thigh. My chest is still coming forward. I'm charging my arms straight out, coming into my feet, grounding there, connecting to the earth. Front hip energetically moving toward back hip snugging in, and I'm just going to reach. I'm going to lengthen this torso out, and then I'm going to bring my hand down to the shin, other hand first to the hip. Taking a minute to press into my feet, ground through the back edge of my back foot, lengthen the underside of my torso out over my front leg, roll my torso upward, and then reach up to heaven. Breathing. Look at that sunset. Woo-hoo-hoo. What a great reminder that you are the light. The light is within you. You are a beautiful house of light. Good. Breathing in that light, pressing into the feet. Let's inhale, let's come on up. Good. We'll turn both feet to face forward and we'll step or hop our feet back together. Excellent. All right, so winding our practice down, we're going to come back down onto the mat. Yes. Good. And yeah, let's lay down. It's always good to lay down. Oh, yes. And just stretch your body out for a minute. Just maybe take your arms up over your head, reaching, and take your heels as long as they can be. And just give yourself a nice little full body stretch here. Seeing that your back of your neck is nice and soft and free. Good. And then exhale the arms down to the sides. Let's bend the knees. And let's just cross our left ankle over our right knee and just rotate the ankle for a minute, both directions. Good. And then let's just take that right one in toward the chest and see if you can get hold of the back of this thigh. And just take a minute, maybe rock gently back and forth to massage your lower back a little bit. And then maybe just try to straighten this right leg up for a minute. Good. Maybe flex it and point it. Good. And then bending it once again, arms out to the side. Think about this, this big toe of the cross leg sort of being like an arrow. And just land it onto the earth. Land it onto the earth. And then just let your torso roll back a little bit to the left for a little twist here. Good. And then just gently coming back here to center, uncross that leg and cross the opposite way. So this time right ankle over left knee, rotating for a moment in both directions. And then taking the left leg toward the chest, just bringing it in. Sometimes I use my elbow of the bent knee to gently guide that knee away from me a little bit. Getting a nice stretch through the outer hip. Maybe doing a little stretching up of the hamstring. Reaching up through the heel in the stretch. Maybe rocking a little bit. Bringing the rocking to stillness. Just place the foot back on the ground. And then this becomes the arrow. Arms out to the side. Big toe lands like an arrow. And then gently, bringing that torso back out to the side. Nice little twisty. Big breaths of light and love. As you're inhaling, you're filling up your well. The kidneys house our vital energy. You're filling up your vital energy. You're trusting. You're trusting in the unfoldment of your destiny. And you're letting go of fear, letting go of overdoing, overworking, or just relaxing into your body as you exhale. And then inhale, slowly come back up to the center. And exhale, uncross those legs. One more nice hug of the knees to the chest. Rocking from side to side. And it never hurts to do a happy baby. So, big toes, come on up. Outer edges of the feet work too. Just rock back side to side a little bit. Let's bring the legs down for a minute. Let's take a little Supta Baddha Konasana. So see that your ankles are right beneath your knees. And then let the knees splay out to the side for a moment. And just let the hips open and let the arms open. And just breathe into that. Breathing into this whole lower burner. The pelvis. And then inhaling the knees back together. Exhaling Shavasana. Final resting pose. Let the legs stretch long and be a little wide. Take the shoulder blades down the back and the arms by the side. Palms facing up to receive heaven's grace. Spine is just softening and settling onto the earth as your back body just broadens and melts. Upper back releases. Middle back releases. and lower back releases. Allowing all of the contents of your abdomen to just melt back onto the floor, onto the back body. And all of the organs in your pelvis just soften and release. Releasing your legs, your calves, ankles, and feet. Relaxing your shoulders, arms, forearms, and hands. And just letting your face soften and lose all expression. Releasing your eyes into your head, ears, drawing inward, and tongue softening back towards your heart. Head becomes heavy. And quiet. And when you're ready, you can wiggle the fingers and toes and just move a little bit. Bending gently at the knees. Oh. Softly roll onto your right side. And with a big breath, press up and find a little seat. Maybe take your uncustomary cross of your legs, opposite leg in front than you might normally do. And just bring your hands down to your lower burner, making like a triangle around your lower belly. Breathing into that little area, couple of breaths. It's an area of your power center and strength. So breathing in some strength for yourself. Some energy. And then taking your hands to your heart, gently bowing your head to your heart, connecting your mind to your heart, connecting to the light inside. The light in me sees, honors, recognizes, and loves the light in each of you. Go and do beautiful work in this world. Build your strength, release fear. Namaste. I will see you next week. Bye.